Episode 1. Day 1. Marc. Marc is sitting on the toilet bowl while getting aroused by reading some SEPA and taxation management lectures from the brochures secretly delivered to his office. It would have been stupid for his colleagues to know that he is ordering brochures while all the latest SEPA news were posted online. However, Marc was still getting too excited, not only from reading every piece of information connected to the single European payments area, but he enjoyed the plastic touch of the brochure's paper. The scratchy feel makes him shiver with delight. He is playing some sexual activity sound recordings he got on his mobile, trying to be sure his wife would not suspect his weird tastes or overhear him touching the brochure papers. In this tiny bit of a second that the thought of her ran his mind, she starts violently knocking on the door while shouting that it's time for him to move his ass, as the hamster needs to go pee. For his health's sake, on his way back he better bring another bottle of gin. She gives a kick to the door and walks away cursing. Marc quickly hides his stash of brochures under the sink, refreshes his sweated face, and for a fraction of a second takes looks at his reflection in the mirror. All he can see is a sad and tired man. He sighs. If he could only read some more. Gets quickly out of the bathroom and picks the leash. With a small movement of his head, he points the hamster to get into the elevator. He is relieved of getting out of the house. He likes to travel for work for the exact same reason. Having a dictator wife and 2 kids who hated him made it difficult to understand why people would call it home sweet home. While on the subject of his own family, he thought of his mother-in-law, that only Albanian-speaking creature who always looked at him like a predator, probably thinking her daughter couldn't have taken worse of a decision. Which was not entirely true, as Marc was well educated with a decent income and a nice job in payments. However, no one in the family ever really understood what his work was. Most likely, this was coming from the fact that no one had ever had a credit card or being close to having his application approved for one. While the elevator moved, he takes a deep breath, feeling his muscles relaxing. He slowly attached the leash to the hamster's collar and says, "Let's visit Victor." Walking towards Victor's apartment, Marc's face lights up by a happy smile. Victor is in his apartment. Actually, the apartment is not really his. The owner happens to be a friend of Victor's, owing him big time for having him fix the Wi-Fi network. It was only a router reset that he had to do, but still, Victor came out the hero here. Besides, the owner was rarely home and always travelling the world. He gave Victor the keys several months ago, just before cruising away for at least a year. Victor is sitting on his futuristic gaming chair, staring at the huge mega-screen wall where scenes from the current battle are being projected. The front door opens automatically, no need to ring any bell, except for a robotic voice coming from Victor's personal AI, informing that Marc and the hamster enter the room. Without moving his eyes from the huge panoramic screen, Victor greets his friend with a "What's up, bro?" and keeps playing his multiplayer deathmatch. His fingers move with an amazing speed and dexterity. Marc was always wondering how could Victor be so quick. The smoke and heavy smell of weed were still present in the room, and Marc felt his eyes watering. He managed to cheerfully reply before choking. "Hey, Victor, as usual, and you? Oh, you're playing that, how's it going?"
"Fuck that shit, playing for hours now. Few campers keep killing me, for sure cheating. Anyway, what brings you here?"
"Had to bring the hamster out and my wife asked for gin."
"Dude, fuck that shit. Look in the kitchen, there should be some."
"Victor, you never go for groceries, how did you?"
"I didn't. Chicks just keep bringing stuff. Fuck that shit, go ask them. Check the jacuzzi."
Marc almost drops the hamster. "Really? Chicks here? In the jacuzzi?"
Shoot, mofo!" "Sorry, dude, you were saying?"
"Well, there is something I need your expertise on."
"Well?"
Victor almost turns his face towards him, but his eyes still fixed on the screen.
"Tell me."
"I really don't know how to approach it, but it seems very important." Marc gets hesitant.
"Come on, dude, spill it out. Your wife will start looking for the gin."
"Actually, it's about 3D Secure."
"What about it?"
Victor almost on the verge of losing interest. "You see, 3D Secure is gaining speed as a popular method for authenticating consumers online and profiting from the liability shift. I've been thinking to propose it for all transactions."
Dude, have you lost your mind? On all transactions? 3DS is a conversion killer for non-enrolled cards.
Victor shot a camper and the floor almost rattled from the noise. Oh, I haven't really thought of that. Suddenly Marc saw him waving goodbye to his super cool 3DS idea.
However, this is not exactly a bad idea. The only trick here would be how good your gateway provider is.
Really? Victor, is there a way?
Oh, fuck that shit. Of course, Marc. What do you think? Just stop interrupting me.
Okay, I won't. Marc slided to the floor in a cross-legged position, the hamster between his legs.
The trick is to be able to split the traffic on a gateway level, based on the latest stats of 3DS being implemented and used. This would mean that you would have to basically research all the geographies where you're planning to take transactions from, and based on an IP address, that would be the best marketer if you don't want to work on elaborating a bin recognition tool, which will probably get you into a brawl with IT. Split the traffic. If you go one level down, the MID, you will have to set up 2 terminals, one for only 3DS enrolled cards, and one for non-3DS. This will make you use the liability shift where it is available without compromising sales. As long as it's technically available, which I don't see a reason why it wouldn't be.
Victor, that's amazing.
Fuck that shit.
At that moment, a half-naked bimbo gets out of the jacuzzi, and with water still dripping from her body, she passes the living room and opens the fridge. Marc is absolutely paralyzed, unable to move.
Hey Marc, don't forget the gin, Victor chuckled.
This triggered something deep. Marc sprang to his feet, almost smashing the hamster and running towards the door. Thanks, Victor. He waved goodbye. The hamster gave out a noise. Yes, it was really pee time. Again.